Welcome to Character Deep Dives, where we explore the minds that shape unforgettable stories. Today, we're diving back into Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, but this time, our focus is on the story's central character, John the Savage. John the Savage doesn't just live in one world, he lives in three. First, there's the Savage Reservation, where he was born, a place he disliked for its hardships, but also respected for its traditions and values. Then there's the brave new world, the place he once dreamed about, the perfect society he longed to see. But once he experienced it, he grew to hate it. Finally, after rebelling against that system, John chose exile. He isolated himself on an island, creating a world of his own, a place where he could try to live free, even if it meant being utterly alone. So, the big questions are, what did John experience in these three very different worlds? What inner conflicts tore him apart? And when he chose isolation, did he regret or really find peace? John was born and raised in the Savage Reservation, a place that was dirty, chaotic, and harsh. Dogs roamed the streets, scavenging through trash. People wore wealthy blankets as clothes, and hot water for bathing. Forget it. Cleanliness was a dream. The community's rituals were brutal too. Once John witnessed a young man whipped to death as a sacrifice to the god for rain. In the reservation, there were no real laws, only religion and violence. Growing up in this world, John had no choice but to be tough, and he was an outsider. Other kids mocked him, called him names, and excluded him from everything. Once he was secretly trying to join a mountain expedition. The boys discovered him and drove him away. He had no friend. He spent most of his childhood playing alone. His mother Linda suffered too. The women despised her, whipping and beating her because their husband had affairs with her. In the savage world, monogamy was sacred. But Linda was from the new world, where everyone belongs to everyone else. She behaved as she was taught back home, but here, that behavior was punished. And then there was John the appearance. With blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin, and a stronger build, he looked nothing like the others. Being the son of two outsiders only fueled the community's hatred toward him. Lonely and isolated, John found comfort in something different: books. His mother taught him to read, and later he taught himself. He devoured the Bible and Shakespeare. Those words would shape the way he saw the world and himself forever. As a boy, John dreamed of visiting the other place, the world his mother Linda always talked about. Her stories made it sound beautiful, clean, and perfect. To him, it was paradise. But when he finally arrived, he discovered something shocking. He was still an outsider. In the new world, there's no sickness, no aging, and no natural births. Everyone belongs to everyone else. Every person lives exactly as their caste dictates. And if anyone ever feels unhappy, there's always Soma, the perfect drug to erase every bad feeling. On the surface, it looks flawless, but underneath, a society of constant surveillance and control. At first, John tried to adapt, but soon he realized he hated it. The value of this new society clashed with everything he believed in: marriage, family, religion, things he respected back in the reservation were dismissed here as primitive or even disgusting. At parties, people stared at him like some kind of exotic attraction. They wanted to see the savage, talk to him, parade him around. He felt less like a human being and more like an alien. Eventually, he pulled away. Instead of the endless parties and shallow conversations, John found real connection with only a few people: Helmholtz Wilson and Bernard Marx. With them, he could discuss literature, poetry, and ideas. Finally, he met others who shared even a fraction of his value. When John discovered the New World, he realized it wasn't the paradise everyone made it out to be. He didn't just quietly resist, he confronted the system head on. Standing face to face with Mustafa Mond, one of the most powerful men in the New World, John bravely asked the questions that had always been on his mind. Why are history books, literature, and religion banned? Why is knowledge controlled? The courage got him sent to an isolated island, a place where he could finally try building his own world. In the third world, John set to work. He converted an abandoned lighthouse into a home, grew his own gardens, and lived off the land. But his struggles didn't stop there. Missing Lenina, he punished himself with whippings, torn between desire and guilt. His rebellion was raw, extreme, and unlike anything the New World people could comprehend. They watched him like he was some exotic creature in a zoo. In the end, John's fight was lonely and tragic. He couldn't escape the clash between human instinct and society's rules, and his story ended in despair. But his spirit, his struggle, remains unforgettable. Honestly, the ending of this book hit me like a punch. I felt a weird mix of shock and relief for John. Maybe leaving that crazy upside-down world was his only real option. Think about it. Everything there is opposite to what he believes. Religion, love, family, aging, even entertainment and work. It's a world designed to clash with his very soul. So, was his rebellion worth it? Absolutely. John tried. He risked everything to leave the savage reservation, ventured into the new world, realized it was all wrong, and fought back. He stood up to a society that didn't understand him, then was exiled to an isolated island where he built a life of his own. Brave, definitely. Tragic, also yes. But here's what gets me thinking. What if Bernard and Helmholtz had joined him on that island? Would John have still ended his life? Maybe having friends, people who understood him, could have changed everything. Why didn't he just escape elsewhere? Was there a limit to how much he could fight? John could endure physical pain and solitude, but he couldn't handle the invisible weight of society's judgment. And isn't that wild? The mental pressure, the silent criticism, is sharper than any whip or scar. So, what's the harshest kind of pain? That's a question I keep coming back to. Humans are social creatures. No matter your beliefs, there will always be supporters and there will always be opponents. The key: stand firm and find a group that shares your values. Facing challenges together lifts the chance to survive. In a civilized world, democracy might give the weaker group a chance. But in a wild, brutal society, if you are outnumbered, you are likely to lose. Sometimes, even your life. Just look at John. Thanks for diving deep with me. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. You won't want to miss the next episode. We'll be comparing the Brave New World, the Savage Reservation, and our world today, and the world ahead. Which one would you actually want to live in? Let's find out. Curious about what other characters like Banana Marks, Lenina Crown, and Mustaf Mount in this book? Check out my previous videos. Links are right here. See you soon. Until then, stay tuned and keep deep diving.